There's people here?
There's people.
What?
There's people.
What? I can't even believe you guys are here. Wait, I invited you, so it's fine. I never know how to start these. And I don't like diving just straight into the intro because it's boring, but
Valid.
whatever. Welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where the tea is piping hot and we are always ready to spill. I'm Logan Murphy, just a gay. And who are you?
I'm Jaye. I'm known as Miss Baltimore Bombshell.
I am Brandon. Also,
great.
Oop, sorry.
Oh no.
I kind of jumped the gun there.
You're fine.
Okay, I failed.
Well, I am Brandon, or Monster Cat Woo on Twitch. I have coffee today because it's that type of weekend.
G Fuel, yay! My baby.
I have one for Sunday.
Good.
I love how you're hugging that picture like it's your baby.
This is my baby that my roommate bought at IKEA.
I love that.
I exclusively use. And we are here to discuss the premiere, the first ever episode ever of RuPaul's Best Friends Make Him Laugh Southern Hospitality Race UK versus the world. All the things. All the things. I added Southern Hospitality Race because of one Angie.
So good.
If you're not watching season 14, do it. But yes, UK versus the world. International. Brandon was here for the cast assessment, so he's already been here talking about these queens.
All I gotta say is that already this episode, we have a lot to talk about because a lot happened and I am not ready.
This was a great episode as well, I will say.
I think this is one of my favorite first episodes ever.
I think I would agree.
It was just so good in every aspect.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. If you want to go see what Brandon and I think about the cast with our good bestie Austin, check out our cast assessment, linked wherever. But Jaye, what did you think of the cast when it was announced?
I was very excited because I have some queens in there I really am fucking gunning for. Super excited. I actually watched your cast assessment this morning and was like, okay, well, we know where Brandon's at with the queens now, so I know your input here because I already knew Logan's, and Logan and I actually watched the first episode together. So I have to say my favorite queen, it might be the pot stirrer of the season, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. So.
Oh, we'll talk about it. We will talk about it. But first, we have to talk about the entrances, which entering onto the main stage.
I kind of loved it. I mean, come on, they've already done the workroom. They're pros, you know? You need something more fabulous for them.
Yeah, they needed something new, and obviously starting on the main stage in this type of stage, obviously, with international queens, they had to do it on the main stage, and it was perfect. So
it ups the ante a little bit.
I'm not mad at it, so it was great up until after the intros.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
We'll talk about it. So, without further ado, slideshow time. Ooh, I love my slideshows. All right, we're going to talk about the entrances in the order in which they entered. And so, unfortunately, we have to start with Baga Chipz.
Did not love. And black bra with a white dress. Come on, girl. Makeup, meh. She has looked better. And I know she came out and said, this is the best I've ever looked. And I don't agree with that. That's just me.
I mean, good concept trying to reference Princess Diana, which
Agreed.
props, but at the same time, I'm like, it could have been, and especially with the music, I was just like, this is cheesy.
Entering with her fucking line from Break Up Bye Bye, I was just like, sure. But in the slightly edited words of Shangela, you will never be Diana.
No.
No. Blu Hydrangea!
Okay,
Loves.
now this one was different, but in a good way, because with that blue skin, I really enjoyed this one, to be honest.
I'm with Brandon. I love Blue. I have a friend of mine who happens to be friends with her in Northern Ireland. And so, and like the 1 degree of separation, I've always loved her. I think she's amazing. Her makeup skills are just incredible. I feel like whatever she does, she just looks beautiful. And this was also not what I expected. So I was really into it.
Yeah, she was known, obviously the face is absolutely perfect in every possible way. This was definitely something I didn't expect from her. I will say I don't particularly love the feathers on the shoulder and on the shoe. I don't particularly love that. I don't really think it's necessary because there's enough pink accenting in the garment itself and in the hair that I don't necessarily think we need it elsewhere. But otherwise, I really, really, really liked this look from Blue.
I guess it was like added the pop, but other than that, like I thought this was fine to me.
Sure. It's Shez!
Oh, this one was polished, I'll say.
This is good.
Mm-hmm.
Cheryl looks so beautiful. Look at that face. She looks amazing. I love it. I want the coat.
Right. The only issue I have is the way that the pink and the nude kind of converge at the puswacha, if you will. That's the only issue I have because it accents it.
Hey, arrows at the puswacha. I'm into it.
I don't dislike it, but it stood out to me. But I think this might be the best Cheryl has ever looked.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. All right. Janey Jacke is next, coming in a monochromatic, good old blue bodysuit.
Did not love. I felt that she's had so many stronger looks. That being said, she looks amazing in that latex. That blue is beautiful on her. I don't know if I love this for a first entrance look. That's all.
I mean, I love the skin tight moments in here, but I do agree this was not as strong in my opinion, but still like the outfit.
I don't hate it for an entrance, and I'll tell you why. Because, like, entrances on Drag Race, you know that there's going to be... Normally, they didn't do it in this one, but normally they throw you into a pit of water, or they make you spin on a wheel, or they put you in a bath of Tic Tacs next to two hot men. So, like, sometimes, like, things happen. And so, like, she's just prepared for whatever's happening.
Okay, first of all... They throw you into a pool of TikToks with two hot men. Sometimes things happen. I want to be there when that happens.
Especially with Bryce and Bruno.
Oh my God.
Especially
Bryce. I'm happy.
Well, he is straight. He is straight, Jaye.
Call me.
I had Bryce merch coming this week, so.
Yes. I'll take Jason. Where's Jason?
Oh, Jason's beautiful.
I love Jason. He's my favorite. I hope they didn't take him off the pit crew because I would be sad. But yeah, I thought this was fine from Janey. Not my least favorite entrance look, I'll say that.
Yeah.
I mean, I still like it, so that's all
Yeah.
that matters.
Absolutely. She's back, and she wants a snack.
Okay, this was my favorite. My favorite entrance.
Really?
Yeah. It's giving me like acid trip Rainbow Bright fantasy, and it's only in the best way that Jimbo can do it. And I loved everything about this. Because when I was a kid, this is honest to God, what I thought that like a very sexy woman would wear when they're older.
I
was
love
like
that.
the epitome of woman. And then I saw it on my TV and I was very excited. Or I saw it on your TV and I was very excited.
Yep.
I saw it on a TV.
Yes.
What got me for this entrance was the sandwich.
The fucking ham and cheese sandwich.
Deli meats from her all season because I am into
Yes. A season of deli meats. I am on board. I'm ready. I want it to be honey smoked turkey in the next one.
This is the meat sack queen and I'm into it.
It's probably just gonna be Canadian bacon the whole time, so
Oh, not Canadian bacon. Not this. Not here, not today. No, I thought this was not my favorite, but this was very, very well done for Jimbo.
I love it.
yeah, I agree. Like it's still a good look. I'll say
It's great.
It kind of gave me Nina West meets Tina Burner.
Not the Tina Burner,
but not Tina.
Not everything red and yellow is Tina Burner.
Well,
Stop
I was
trying to make Tina Burner happen.
Well, I wasn't saying more so the red and orange thing. It's
No,
more so
that's
like
fair.
how the outfits kind of like met.
Oh,
because
yeah,
like
I
that's
guess I could see that.
Yeah, because that silhouette, in my opinion, gave me Tina Burner. And that's what I thought.
Sure,
you can see with the hair, but
totally.
I love this so much. This is like everything to me.
It's like BFF necklace VIP guest list. Am I right? This was my favorite.
Also my favorite.
Yeah.
Women look so beautiful. I'd wear that.
I would too. Glad
Logan knows how much I love lemon. Like,
oh yes,
this was my like top look by far. So I'm like, thank you.
So good, polished, beautiful, stunning, perfect, everything.
Yeah, God, how she's so perfect and gorgeous.
The one thing I will say, I have one critique. I wish the train was sewn in at the back a little bit wider, so that way the actual like bottom of the train itself came out a little bit further, because it kind of just looked like a bolt of fabric pinned on the back of her dress. So that's my only critique. Like, and especially in this photo, it kind of exemplifies that for me. But otherwise, I don't have a single problem with this, and I think she's incredible.
I'll agree with that.
Same.
Pangina Heals, giving Miss Universe. I forget the name of the woman who won Miss Universe, but this was a reference directly to their most recent Miss Universe winner, I believe in like 97 or something like that. Beautiful.
Oh yeah, this was a look, and especially when all the other queens was surprised to see Thailand across.
My favorite moment of the entire episode is when Pangina is revealed from the scrim, and Cheryl is just, "Are you joking?" That is one of my favorite moments, honestly, of Drag Race. Period. Like, Cheryl's reaction to Pangina walking onto the main stage was everything.
I mean, I am so excited for this because I just don't think that Pangina can look bad.
Mm-mm.
Like, there is not a universe where she doesn't look amazing.
In drag, out of drag, all of it is beautiful.
It's just gorgeous. So I was super excited when she was announced. And Logan knows when we watched this, I audibly gasped Just because I was like, oh my God, look how amazing she is.
Can confirm there was audible gasping.
And everybody else was just so excited. And I just remember as soon as this got, the cast got announced, I was really excited to see what she would do on the stage. Cause she's just been she's been the judge the entire time. So I'm like, ooh, like, is this going to translate? And I mean, obviously you're going to bring that up later, Logan, but my God, I
sure am.
She just can't do any wrong.
No.
For me.
I love it. Beautiful, stunning, perfect. Mo Heart.
I love me so much. Monique so much. Sorry, Mo. I love Mo.
Well, she's saying Monique in the show, so I don't know what to believe anymore.
I believe. Okay, so I think because of how when they filmed this, they were Mo was still Monique.
Yeah, I believe she made the change afterwards.
Mm-hmm. I think the change happened like just when it was announced. So, which I'm not mad about, obviously. So
no,
we'll still hear Monique a couple times, so we know it's Mo.
It's Mo Heart.
Mm-hmm.
Mo Heart, Mo Fabric, Mo Drama.
Mo is one of my absolute favorite U.S. queens. I deeply adore her. I think she is just hysterical, and anything that comes out of her mouth, I just she was like she's like Heidi in Closet to me, where like no matter what they say, I just like love it just because they're just so hysterical, and they just make me laugh, and they're just so effervescent and full of joy. I actually really liked this hair on her.
Same.
I was into like the outfit with the poofs and the everything else, which she was kind of giving us throughout the whole episode. I was into it. I thought her face looked beautiful. Mm-hmm. I got the glasses with the outfit. I just don't like the tiny little. Sure. I would just never wear them otherwise, but it worked for her. I love it.
The 3 different pops of this look, like specifically, like of course the wig, like the whole the whole bodysuit, and then the whole fabric flowing. Mm-hmm. Like it doesn't seem like it works, but at the same time it really does.
I mean,
it shouldn't, but it does.
Do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like it's so 3 different things, but it works perfectly, and I'm just happy that this was the first entrance look for her.
But Brandon,
how did she fit
less from a woman who was able to make brown cow stunning?
That part.
I was gonna say, how did she fit this and her runway look for this episode in 5 suitcases? We're gonna talk about it.
I don't know.
This was 5 suitcases.
Yeah, she had to be in bodysuits for the rest of the show. There's no way.
Truly. Like,
what was it, 118 yards or 130 yards of fabric for the second one?
In the runway, I think. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Girl, I just bought 3 yards of velvet, and that thing is like this. I don't know where my hand is.
Somewhere.
There's a hand.
Sure.
Wow.
Yes.
It's a lot.
Yes. And last up is Jujubee. Shocker, in a black dress. She's done it every damn time. She's gonna do it this time too. And you know what? I love it.
This dragon part, I'm just like, yes.
Yes. I think this is my favorite of the black dresses that Jujubee has walked into a Drag Race season with.
Agreed.
I'm convinced that the reason she didn't do well on Queen of the Universe is because she was not wearing a black dress in episode 1.
That part.
You wear a black dress, you get 3rd place. Like, that's how it works.
Honestly, now that you said that, I was just like, with Into You with a black dress, that's much fit better with the theme. Like, I'm just like, wait a minute.
Exactly.
Okay.
I have to say, I didn't love this. She is giving me aging corporate hooker, but nobody else could pull it off.
But what don't you like about that? I love aging corporate hooker.
But Jujubee, it works. And you're like, no other queen could pull this off. Any other queen, I'd be like, boot her off right now. I'm done. But I love her. Aging corporate hooker just works for her. And I love it.
Truly.
Interesting.
Truly. Like, yeah. It's not great, but I love it. So
I think I don't love it, but I accept it and I tolerate it because I love her.
I accept this.
I accept it because it's Jujubee, but I love her.
Yes. Yes. So we get the entrances. Were there any other parts of the entrances, specifically like the little like talking? Oh my God, mingle! Hi, sisters. Oh God, not that. Sorry.
So,
Not that.
well,
Not
I
that.
rewatched it this morning,
Mhm.
and I had to say there was a little bit of like when Janey came out that the other queens were like, it took them a second to realize who she was.
Yep.
And I kind of almost felt the same way with when Pangina came on, but like obviously Cheryl knew immediately. So
There
that
were
was
some people that knew exactly who she was, and there were some
Exactly.
people who definitely Baga, who definitely have not seen Drag Race Thailand.
Yeah. But it was, I mean, in the UK queens brought it up too, and we commented on it
Mhm.
that there was, and they come like there was a definite shift between all the other queens when they came out, and then when the US gals came in, and they were not there to play.
I
I
think that
wouldn't
was
even-
planned.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say with the US girls. I would honestly just say with Mo. Because I think if Juju had came in first, I think it would have been fine. But I think Miss Mo Hart coming in, it was like, oh shit, this is competition. Like, she knows what she's doing, and she's bringing the shade episode 1.
Well, she didn't come to get second place again.
No. Well, she got third last time.
Or third.
By track record and technicality, she got third on All Stars 4. And I
Mhm.
will not accept any other answer.
And I agree with that. I was gonna say
I love Naomi Smalls, but
yes, yeah, I was gonna say because like they started with UK obviously because UK versus the world.
Mhm.
It was smart for them to do Holland next because the unexpectedness of Holland, and then Canada like sandwiched in the middle. That also made sense.
Sure, yeah.
And then with Thailand, huge shocker for everyone being like, oh, we're getting the first international franchise.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then close it out with US. Like it made sense. Like
I
I'm
almost
glad they,
would have.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was glad that they did that in that order. I think you're gonna say this. I wish they did Thailand last.
I wish Pangina had been last.
I agree.
Like the gag of Pangina, like that. I wish Pangina had come in last, but I'm not mad at it. Not at all. So everyone comes in, and then RuPaul descends from the heavens. Clearly, they just didn't look over in that direction and didn't see RuPaul watching them the whole time. This was stupid, and I hated it.
Yeah, edited.
Was...
Like hated it. I was like, why was this the reason? Why did you do this? Like, no.
And then we find out.
All Stars rules.
You know, wait, what?
Your video cut out.
Jay, you cut out a little bit. What did you say?
Oh, did I cut
yours
out?
did too.
Oh,
on my end. It's probably me. We're gonna be very honest. It's probably me. But then.
Uh-oh.
You see it too, Brandon?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Oh no, not this.
Oh no. Okay.
Is Logan back yet?
Logan? Hi, love.
Am I back?
You're back.
Good. That's great. I don't know what's happening and I'm annoyed. Because I'm very close to my router today. Anyway, we find out there's no cash prize.
Oh yeah, because we know BBC does not do cash prizes.
Mm-hmm. But that was actually really smart because if they do a song with
gets to do, yeah, they get the residuals.
Yeah. Also, they get the title.
Right. queen of the mother-tucking world,
Which
if
is
you
always
will. Yes.
Love it. So then what?
Am I back?
You're
back.
honey.
I'm leaving all of this in. I don't care. I don't care today. Yes, so everyone gets out of drag, and Monique and Jujubee are immediately shading every single person.
First of all, Logan, you're just putting the real in reality.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't care today. Normally I would edit it out, but I just don't care.
Mo is one of my absolute all-time favorite US drag queens on Drag Race. I think she's just wonderful. I love her. She's delightful. But she came in like when Shea Coulee came in All Stars season 5, and from the very beginning was like, I am here to win. I am not here to like futz around. I'm not here to like, kiki with all the other girls. I am here for the crown. Because I know who I am and I know what I have to offer and I know this is what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. And Mo is coming in and doing the exact same thing. Maybe not as likable as when Shea was doing that. So I'm like, oh no, like Mo is becoming the villain of the season. But I still love her and I don't care.
Wow, villainizing the only Black queen on the season? Groundbreaking.
Which kind of pissed me off, I'll be honest.
Oh, I'm pissed. I'm very upset.
Are you serious? Like, the opportunity of Mo, like, getting the redemption that she deserves, and then this happens. Like, no.
Especially in a country that has not done well by their Black queens on Drag Race UK.
Oh, yeah, that's
that
true.
part.
Anywho, most of the workroom stuff is honestly inconsequential. Like, nothing really happens. On Elimination Day, we find out that Lemon and Jimbo aren't as close as most people think they would be. And Lemon clarified, which I watched all the exit interviews. We'll talk about it. Slow single tear. So the reason she said that is because they're not physically close. Because Lemon lives in Toronto and Jimbo lives in Vancouver.
Two opposite ends of the country.
So literally before this filmed, the last time, and there was also, a panorama. So the last time Lemon had physically seen Jimbo before the UK versus the world, I say panorama.
Oh, okay.
Panorama, Panda Express,
Panini Press.
Panini Press.
I took that from you.
You sure did. I don't hate it either. I don't remember where I took it from. But Lemon was like, the last time I had physically seen Jimbo before we walked into UK versus the world was the filming of Canada's Drag Race season 1.
Oh, wow.
Because Jimbo wasn't even at the reunions they did.
Because they filmed in Toronto, correct?
They filmed in Toronto, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But yeah, most of the season 1 girls live in Toronto, except for Alona now, or I think Alona actually lives in Toronto now. She's been moving around a little bit. Jimbo doesn't. There's like 1 or 2 others, but otherwise, all the season 1 girls live in Toronto, so they like work together very frequently.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's why she clarified afterwards that like she wasn't physically close to Jimbo because they live on opposite coasts. Because in case you didn't know, Canada is a large country. So, but yeah, so that was her whole explanation about that. And then Baga does some weird, like, bullshit that was stupid.
Language lesson.
Oh, the language lesson. I actually thought that was funny, but
I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about her like chanting to her fans.
Oh, yeah.
The language lesson was also dumb and stupid.
What I didn't understand is the language lesson and the the confessionals, she said the girls didn't understand what she was talking about. And I'm like, they actually knew all the like references. They knew all the words and all the slang that you were doing. So what are you talking about?
Well, and of all the queens to be in that conversation, it's Juju and Mo, who have toured the UK, and Pangina, who I think has done tours in the UK, but I'm honestly not sure. Like, if you're gonna have anyone do it, have Janey do it, because she literally talked in the entrances about how she had never been to the UK.
Also, I'm sorry, but if you watch Love Island, then you know all those terms too.
Oh, yeah, no. If you watch any British television, you know all the slang. If you watch any of the Big Brother that used to happen in the UK, like, I've learned so much British slang from watching Big Brother UK. Yeah. Like, that was my like gateway into it. But yeah, I was like, the language lesson is weird. Her being like, and I want to thank all my fans. I'm like, bitch, you're not that famous. Davina DeCampo is still more famous than you.
Oh, Davina. Love
Davina. And then the only other thing that I touched on, unless there's anything else y'all want to touch on from the workroom stuff, was Pangina and Janey sort of bonding a little bit over being the only people from their country.
I thought that was sweet.
I love that.
I loved it.
I think I loved both of their seasons so much, and both of, well, actually every single season from both Thailand and Holland, I thought were just some of the strongest ones in like Drag Race. I mean, I loved both of them. So I'm very excited that they're.
I loved how Mo talked about that Holland had one of the strongest drag.
Yes.
And I agree with that, because I remember watching parts of Holland. So I didn't fully watch it, but I agree with that statement that Holland had one of the most had one of the best drag that they've seen. So I'm excited that they were able to bring that up.
The best drag and the worst host.
That part.
Yeah.
Fucking Fran. So Jay and I, not affectionately, because I don't like Fred, we refer to Fred VanLier as Fran because of this one time on Holland season 2 where he looked like Jan.
No!
He looked exactly like Jan.
Brought it up, and I told Logan, I'm like, I'm sorry, but I can't. No, it looks like Jan. And Logan was like, no, I can't unsee it. So now we call Fred Fran.
Okay.
Lovely. Bye, Fran. Delete it, Fran.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. If anybody doubts us, just look at Fred VanLier. Look at some photos of Jan.
It was like season 2, episode 3, when Fred is wearing the like pseudo Ariana Grande ponytail.
Yes. Yeah. Tell me that is not Jan.
And it's funny when I think about it, because Jan does Ariana performances. So
Yeah.
You're welcome. You will never see them the same. It's Fran.
It's Fran. So I wasn't able to pull looks from the performances because they were moving so much, and all of the photos I took were blurry. So we don't have photos of the performances, but I figure we can talk about performance and runway at the same time for everybody.
Yes.
Because, sure. So, we're back to the slideshow. So, we're going to be showing the runway looks, but the category was I'm a winner, baby, which I didn't love because none of them are winners.
Well, but they're dressing for the job that they want, which is the winner of the mother tucking world.
Sure, but I think they could have done something more unique for the first runway.
I think it was safe for the first runway. I think we're going to get way more later in, so that's what I'm thinking.
I hope so, because, I mean, if this was any indication of the runways we're getting this season, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So, I believe I put these in alphabetical order, I think, because I did. Yes. So, first is Baga Shit.
Yes, I was very confused. I was like, okay, and then when Baga explained, I was like, oh, okay, but still hate it.
So I really loved Baga on her season, and I was actually rooting for her to win. However, I know Logan's sighing and making faces right now.
Sure am.
Judge me all
Yep.
you want, bitch.
I will.
I know you will.
Absolutely.
Anyhow, but when she was saying that she was supposed to be an Oscar, I was like, do you know what an Oscar looks like? And then I was thinking, but do I know what a BAFTA award looks like?
Well, no. Oh, wait. I'm so sorry. Because, wait, we're going to go back to just this slide. Because guest judge Mel C. We forgot to talk about Mel C. And I arguably think Mel C was the best part of this episode.
Yes, very that.
Yeah.
I need Mel C as a permanent judge. I'm sorry. Like, I just do. And she was also robbed on Dancing with the Stars.
That part. and that part.
robbed. Anyway. But no, so going back to Baga. When Mel C makes the joke, oh, that's what happened to my Brit Award. I was like, it looks more like a Brit Award than it does an Oscar.
I was gonna say.
I almost wish she had just said, oh, fuck it, I'm doing a Brit Award.
Yep.
Like, honestly, because they filmed those confessionals after the fact. So she easily could have said Brit Award instead of Oscar.
Right. That and the makeup wasn't good.
Two different shades of gold.
Well, that's the thing is, though, even though you can go monochrome with one color on your face, you can still make it good. I mean, look at what Blue did with the blue.
Yeah.
You know, there was still like variation. There's no variation in this.
We'll talk about a few. We'll talk about a few people that had that problem with this runway.
Yeah.
And then
also her song.
Yeah, it was not much better.
I mean, Mel C did say it right, where she's like, you know, the Spice Girls can't lip sync and neither can you. And it was like, yeah.
I think she was singing live though. That's the thing.
Oh yeah. Which one of the queens said that it's drunk white woman at a karaoke?
I think it was Janey.
And
Mhm.
And that was so correct.
Yeah, it was bad.
I was cringing. A little
And unfortunately, this is now, I fear, just a season of them dragging Baga along, and I'm pissed about it.
I still rooted for her on her season.
I mean, I initially rooted for Baga, and then just as the season went on, that changed. So,
nope. Blu Hydrangea.
Loved her, her Maxi Challenge song.
Yes.
Routine. I swore I've seen that before though, and I kept saying that I had, and I still haven't figured out where I've seen it. But I think she looks beautiful. I did not understand how this was winner, and
I don't understand this as a look. I'm gonna be honest.
yeah, I agree. Like
sex doll. Do you have fantasies about troll sex dolls?
Yeah, I do, but I don't like it.
Well, this is your worst nightmare.
Great.
I mean, if it were a different theme, I would have liked this. But like as the theme, like I did not like this at all.
Yeah.
I
loved her talent though.
Yeah, neck up. She was great. Her talent was amazing.
Yeah, her talent. I was gonna say because like I did make this comment a while ago. I never tweeted it though, but the song reminded me of "Give Me All Your Lovin'" by Madonna.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And of course, with that whole multiple people that I remember this because America's Got Talent. There was a guy that did YMCA, and that's what reminded me of. And I was just like, yes.
Oh my God, is that what it is? That's what this reminds me of. Brandon, you figured.
Yeah, because I remember like seeing like with the people in the front and the back. I was like, this is a good concept. Like,
yeah.
I've never seen performances like that before, and the fact that Blu Hydrangea brought it to Drag Race, I was just like, yes, I love this.
Yeah.
Like it was so fun, and the fact that the song reminded me of "Give Me Our 11" by Madonna, I was just like, I love this.
Yeah. It's Chaz. I thought her talent was great.
Her talent was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Did
Her talent
not
was
like dress. I think she looks beautiful from the neck up. But I rewatched it this morning, and she was saying that she like walked out on the stage. Her voiceover was, "I have stars on my boobs. Like this is this, and I'm like, honey, when did your boobs come up to your clavicles, like your shoulder blades? What are they doing up here?
Her boobs can be wherever she wants her boobs to be.
If you want your boobs right here, go for it. But most of us are down a good like 8 inches, maybe 12 if you're me. But like, and the older you get, it's like a foot down or a foot and a half. But like, honey, let's talk about women's anatomy. This is not where tits go.
I'm gonna defend the hell out of this look. I really like it.
And for a beautiful woman. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's pretty good. I love the whole the stars on the hips, like that.
Yeah.
Like that attention to detail there, like
yeah.
And the star rays coming out of the gold fabric on the back, that's very structured on the train. I really love that. And from a sewing standpoint, I've been thinking about how that was like done so well.
Right.
That is.
I mean, if anyone was gonna figure it out, it would be you. But yes, I love Chaz. I'm not gonna apologize for it. I love her.
I love her though.
Janey Jacke. Let's talk about the positives. She looks beautiful on the runway.
yes.
I think this is possibly the most beautiful she's looked too, which is very difficult to say because she's just gorgeous and everything. But
I think her finale from Holland personally is my favorite with the wings.
Oh no, that was beautiful. Everything looks so ethereal, like with the makeup and everything, and the monochromatic make. For me, this was just like perfection. She looks amazing.
Mm-hmm. That talent.
I forgot what it was. I watched it twice.
I was upset.
The 5 look reveal with the song that you could barely hear.
Yeah, I was upset because I was looking forward for Jackie's talent, for Janey Jacke's talent, and then that happened. I was just like, no.
It was so beautiful and put together, and like looks at all the details and everything in their runway looks for all of the outfits, the reveals that she was doing that were so ill-fitting and just had so many glaring issues. Yeah, I was like, I honestly, I remember what it was. The first time we watched this, I was thinking, it looks like she's been doing drag for 3 months.
Yeah.
Which is sad because she is not. She's amazing. But this is everything.
Stunning on the runway. But I was curious, like, what happened with the song? Like, was it just were the vocals low, or
no? This is what I think, because apparently BBC has a reputation with bad audio.
Oh,
it didn't come through with the episode, unfortunately, because like that's what I'm thinking. Because like apparently a lot of people say BBC's audio is shit. Like that's what people are saying, so that's why I couldn't hear the song. But other than that, like that was really like the only thing about it. But like what I would say is like if the reviews were more polished, I think it would have been much better. That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
My thought was, did they not get the rights, and so they turned down the audio? Because I know I do that on YouTube videos. Like, did they just not get the rights to whatever this song was?
I would think though, if they didn't get the rights, they wouldn't use it at all because it's such a big corporation.
Or they thought they had the rights and then didn't after filming something. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, if that were to happen, then that would mean that the thing would have been entirely cut. Because when it comes to media, when it comes to media
Sure.
things like this, like they have to make sure it's approved first before they can actually do that.
Sure.
I will say though, Janey, if you are watching this, I'm about the same size and I'd really like to borrow this dress. Please and thank you, Kay. I'll pay shipping.
From Holland.
From Holland and send it back, girl.
Sure.
I'm good for it.
Sure. Jimbo sitting on some baloney, throwing baloney at RuPaul. This was stupid.
Logan, Brandon. So here's the deal. When Jimbo was on her season, I didn't love her and I didn't get her. And I was just like, the hell is going on here? So when she was announced, I was like, I have to say, Jimbo's now kind of one of my tops to beat for this season. I love the weird latex perm giving birth to baloney so much because it was so fucking weird that it was delightful. And this look, I think, is one of my absolute favorites I've ever seen in drag history. I think this is so draggy and fabulous. And like, if you're gonna make something as nerdy as chess look sexy, and like everything else, Netflix, that the show is not how you do it. This is how you do it. This is sexy chess, and I loved it.
Okay, so watching the performance, of course, like everyone, we were confused. But
Truly.
At the same time, like I know Jimbo's comedy, so like it made sense to me why that was just like, okay, this is entertaining. Now I'm still thrown off because of like the whole deli meat. Like, is it bologna or Canadian bacon? I can't tell.
It's bologna.
Oh, it's bologna.
Bologna's delicious, and I will like die on that hill.
But also, she had to sit with her puswacha on this bologna.
Girl, what?
Everyone before her. No.
Then you're not a real woman.
I'm not.
Let me tell you. You want to?
And I never claimed to be.
You want to sit on some bologna? Let's go sit on some bologna.
I'm down. I'm ready.
I will.
Oh, sorry.
That's right. I stuck some in the freezer.
Okay.
Oh no.
Period.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna talk about the garment, but you go right ahead, Brandon.
So I was gonna say, like, the bologna's sticking onto her outfit right after.
The one under her head.
Yes.
I was pregnant fucking sperm. It was glorious.
Like it's the way that it's stuck on her. Like even after performance, I was just like, I love that it's staying on there. But
this?
I can't imagine how bad it smelled when they were sitting down.
Let me just tell you this. Back in the day when I was a mechanic, we would take like cars that were headed for like to get demolished. We would take bologna on a hot summer day and stick it on the paint of the cars, and it would eat the paint away. Like, bologna is nasty, and it sticks to everything, especially when it's like kind of hot and sweaty. So I was like, yeah.
The sliminess of the bologna is like, it could be like some type of adhesive or something.
Bologna adhesive, puswacha, Logan.
Oh no.
Okay, here's the other thing I want.
But this is now known as the meat sack to me. Meat sack queen, realness.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, I will agree with what you said, Jay, earlier before we started talking about bologna. This is one of the best garments that has ever been on Drag Race. The face could have been different, and I would have wanted anything other than what she did. Obviously, she has sparked a lot of controversy online. It is not any of our places to discuss that any further. But anything other than this would have been great, Jimbo. Anything else?
I love the shoulders so much, though.
The shoulder's great.
Shoulders and crown, the fact that it matched, like that's what I loved about this outfit.
Yeah.
Outfit, great. Face, why?
Yeah, she could have done something different with the face. Put in some white in there, too.
Anything else. Literally anything else, and it would have been fine. But regardless, wonderful, great.
I'm now never going to be asked back because of my comments on this last segment.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Jay. This is your final podcast here. Thank you so much. No, okay. So I want to start this one because we have to talk about Jujubee. And I have spoken at length about how Jujubee is one of my favorite drag queens to ever exist. I love this woman. I think everything this woman does is amazing. I think Jujubee should have been in the bottom. And I hate saying that. I hate saying that. Upon rewatching, her talent was fine. And this runway just didn't do it for me.
The runway, it didn't feel like it fit right. It made her look squashed. And I don't like it when the slit comes up so you can see the panties or the leotard.
That was
and
strange.
the hair felt a little bit Dynasty 80s to me, where like it looks like this is why I got rid of my ends, because they were feeling crispy on the ends. Like it feels crispy right there. But you'd said it when we watched it. I mean, out of the queens that did live sing, she was the best. But overall, it was fine.
If you combine runway and performance for me, because I did full on like point tallies personally to decide who I thought the bottom three should have been, and it was Jujubee. Jujubee was one of the three.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agreed with that because looking at this specifically, this outfit, I was like, this is very simple for Jujubee, and I thought we could have gotten more.
Yeah,
and like I can't tell with this picture specifically, but is the top a little uneven?
I think it was the walking of it, but I don't think it was uneven.
Okay, I thought I asked because like on her right side it looks much shorter than the left side.
It's I think what it is you have to have a certain body shape to pull off that sort of like that bodice line, and it's a very tricky body shape to pull off, and you cannot be, as what my parents call me, a squatty body where you have no torso, you're just tits sitting on ass. Like you have to have more length like in your waistline, and because otherwise it doesn't look it's not as flattering, and I think that's what it is here.
Yeah. Her singing though, like I really enjoyed that.
Beautiful.
Stream back for more wherever it's available, except Spotify, because we don't support them. Yeah. Sorry, Juju. But you were safe, so it's fine. I'm going to let y'all start this conversation on Lemon, because I know Brandon has thoughts, feelings, and opinions, and I know Jay does too. So y'all go ahead and start that conversation.
Come on, Brandon.
You want me to start this? Okay. I was so heartbroken like with this because I was just like, everything was so good about Lemon. And then when I found out that what happened at the very end, I'm just like, like this outfit right here, definition of I'm a winner. Like the regalness, like this was my favorite outfit of the entire runway.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And I was like, how did this not get at least safe?
Thank you.
Like, okay, I will agree with that high jump split. We've seen that before, yes.
Yeah.
Because Aja did that.
Mm-hmm.
But I still love that performance.
It was a good performance. I agree with Mel C that her eyes were completely dead. She looked terrified through the whole thing and very unsure. It looked like she was, I don't know, rewatching it again. It was like she was trying to hype herself up for being there, but didn't quite believe that she is at that level to be able to be competing with all these other queens. But this, I agree with you, Brandon. This was my favorite look on the runway. I loved this so much. Logan knows because I was gushing about this. I want to make this.
Please do.
So good. I have already found patterns to like get all of this done. This is so perfect. That says I'm a winner. And like a little lemon bus.
I was gonna say, what color are you gonna do it in, and what citrus fruit is gonna be your bust? Is it lime, grapefruit, tangerine?
I'm gonna go.
Have you decided? Love it.
Wait,
I'm
say
on
that
board.
again. Say that again.
I'm gonna go with the kiwi.
Kiwi. Okay, I love that.
We
Yeah.
love to see it.
No, I love this. I thought she looked so gorgeous. This was
Yeah,
the most elegant, beautiful, regal. This says I'm a winner.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's difficult going first.
Yeah.
We've
But-
all gone first in things at some point in our lives. So like I understand how the difficulty of going first. For me, and I said this while we were watching, it felt like she was marking her performance and wasn't going. She was at like 60% with the performance.
I agree.
I did really like the song though. I really, really like it. So that brought it a little bit up for me. And then I think this runway is definitely one of the best. It's not my personal favorite because there's another one that topped it. But she just looks incredible. So
She looked so good. I mean, I think she was the worst performance, but the best on the runway.
I think Janey was the worst performance. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I thought Janey was the worst performance.
I didn't like Janey's performance, but at least she was giving it to me here where she believed in
Sure.
what she was doing, where it felt like Lemon was just like, I'm going to do this, but I don't like what I'm doing and I don't like being here at all. And I think I just kept looking at her face and it was, yeah.
Because this is my favorite look.
Okay, yeah,
On the
I'll say that.
runway.
I'll say that. This was one of my. This was good.
Mo Hart, point blank period. I'm gonna be really honest. I think this saved her from the bottom 3. Because I don't think her performance was all that strong upon rewatch. And I love Mo Hart, again, Mo Fabric. But the performance, I liked the song. I liked the energy she was giving. She had a little bit of issue with her backing track, which Baga did as well. But I thought Mo handled that a little bit better. I thought Mo's performance was like solidly low. But this runway look just absolutely yanked her out of that as much as it possibly could.
Yes, I agree.
Beautiful. She looked absolutely stunning. I mean, this color is gorgeous on her skin. I love it. I'm not a fan of a bubble hem or anything that's been like bubbleized.
Yeah.
So I didn't love that around the bottom. So I was having issues with that, but that's just a me thing.
Sure.
But my God, she looks stunning in this.
Yeah, that entire train of fabric, like that just won me over.
God, I would wear this to do the dishes.
Me too. The one issue I had with the garment is I don't mind the bubbling on the bottom. I know, Jay, that's like you don't like it. I didn't particularly hate it. My issue is actually the puckering at the slit. Because around the slit of the gown, there's like just this weird puckering that's happening.
No, it is. It's because her left leg is going forward, so it's going to stretch the fabric a little bit. So
I saw it while she was standing as well. It's not just this photo. Yeah.
We'll have to go back and look.
Yeah, it wasn't as pronounced when she was standing, so obviously there's a little bit of exaggeration because this is this is actually while she's standing as well.
Is
This
it?
is a still shot. Yeah, this is a still shot.
Oh, okay.
Or she just like stopped moving or something like that. I did notice it while she was standing as well. But that's literally the only thing.
A good stabilizing wire will take care of that.
Yeah. So, but that was the only
Get you some wire.
Right. Mo wire, if you will.
Mo wire.
Mo wire.
One quick thing before we move on about her performance specifically. Yeah, but that backing track, I think it was another BBC audio editing issue.
Yeah.
Because I think the backing track was meant to be played, but because it sounded like an echo, that was part of the reason why it didn't sound as good.
Sure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So again, I think BBC still has an issue with sound editing. That's still what I think was going on with that. But but overall, like the song was fine. I just wish it was like better in my opinion. But yes, this look I think saved her from being from the bottom.
Her Brown Cow Stunning performance in All Stars 4, I think, was significantly stronger than this performance.
Yeah, yes. I agree.
But I also will say on a counter to that, I felt like this song was a lot more personal to her than Brown Cow Stunning was.
Yes. I agree. And I wonder, because we kind of chatted about this when it was going on, but it felt like this was the shortest segment that we saw. It was edited shorter. Yeah. And I was wondering if it was because of what, the song was a gospel song. And like maybe trying to like, we're not gonna like put that on the TV. I don't know. Yeah. It just felt...
like looking at the length of her performance compared to the last queen we're going to talk about, Pangina. It felt like Pangina's was incredibly long.
Yes.
And it felt like Mo's was incredibly short. I felt Mo's was short. I felt Blue's was a little bit shorter as well. So it might have been an editing thing, but also like, fuck you, BBC, if that's the case. Pangina just slayed this episode. Top, bottom, left, right, middle, all the angles, every single thing.
This was so gorgeous. Like, this is ethereal. This is elegant. It is just otherworldly. It's amazing. It's everything. Hands down, this is I just think this is gorgeous. You know what? I'm sorry, Lemon. This might edge you out, but I love them for two different reasons.
Sure.
Yeah, the attention to detail of the Thai text on her dress, like that won me over. Because once they zoomed in on her dress, I was like, oh my god, that attention to detail, like stunning.
It was personal.
Like, and it just shows how like Thailand's not here to play; they came to slay.
Yeah, and I think it's like it's important. I think because this is an international competition. It's like Janey was saying, it's not just in Pangina. It's like it's not just that we're in London. It's not just that we're like representing like other queens. We're representing our entire country, and you see the love that Pangina has for Thailand, for her country, for her people within her garment, which no other queen did that. So that's I just thought that was beautiful and special and wonderful.
I wouldn't necessarily say she was the only one, because I would almost argue that Mo's, in a very, very different way, also felt very like American, but specifically like Black American culture.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying as well. Like, I don't want Jimbo or Lemon to come out in a fucking like maple leaf red and white gown. Like, I don't need that. I don't need a remake of Davina's Union Jack gown from season 1. But like, I understand what you mean as well. Like, this felt very Pangina in a way that no other queen could have worn this look.
It was like you were saying with like Mo, it was like a love letter, not just her ancestry, but to the other queens of like her country, and that she is representing them as well. And I thought I just really loved it.
Yeah. So we get some critiques. We find out that Cheryl, Jujubee, and Mo Hart are safe. We have Blu Hydrangea in the top, with the winners of the challenge being Jimbo and Pangina Heals. I would say Blu was in the top over Baga. It was a little confusing, but from my perspective, I would say Blu was in the top. Baga was low, and we end up with a bottom 2 of Lemon and Janey Jacke. Do we agree?
I agree with the judges on this.
I don't.
I think what you're gonna say is, like you said, Jujubee should have been in the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I did. I had disagreements across the board, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, my top 3, based on a combination of runway and performance, my top 3 would have been Pangina, Jimbo, and I honestly would have put Cheryl in the top.
Okay.
because I think Cheryl's performance was good and her runway was good, whereas Blu's performance was great and her runway was not as great. So balancing all of the factors, for me, I would have put Cheryl in the top.
I agree.
I would have had Mo, Lemon, and Blu safe. And my bottom three, I would have straight up done a bottom three. My bottom three would have been Janey, Baga, and Jujubee, unfortunately.
Yeah,
maybe with Jujubee being low instead of being in the bottom. But that's just where I kind of felt.
I thought it was gonna be Janey Jujubee in the bottom, if I'll be honest.
Sure. I could have seen that as well.
So that was something that I was very surprised about. So when Lemon was in the bottom, I was
Yeah, it makes me think of like, was there another Canada's Drag Race queen that potentially would have taken the other spot of Jimbo that she like had more drama with? Because it felt like they brought Lemon and then we're like, oh, we have no need for Lemon's storyline wise. So it's cool if we lose her episode 1. Because I'm like, was Boa supposed to be here? Was Alona supposed to be here? Like, was Scarlett Bobo supposed to be here instead of Jimbo? Like, it's just so strange that they were so ready and willing to just get rid of Lemon in this moment. Because it just, I don't know.
I really don't know, if I'll be honest. Like, a lot of it's up in the air for why that happened, but
yeah, there also wasn't a whole lot in the in the workroom. I will say, in some interviews that I've seen post episode, it was Lemon and Jimbo were actually at a viewing party of this in Chicago.
Oh,
and spilled some tea that I don't think they were supposed to, but it's out there, so I'm going to share it with y'all. So apparently, when they went back to do their deliberations and they did their individual meetings with the bottom queens, apparently Jimbo looked straight at Lemon and was like, you know I'm not sending you home, right? And then the producer came in and was like, we need to make this more mysterious. And so that's when Jimbo turned to Lemon and was like, you know, I have to listen to Janey and what she's saying. I don't know if I can keep you. And I just love that we know this information.
What?
Like, I'm a big fan of it.
Tea time.
Oh, yes. I don't have my tea time banner, but yes.
Oh my God. That's wild.
I love it.
Like,
oh no, nothing left in the wine glass. Yeah. I can't.
Like, I don't think it was it supposed to slip, or I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
That? Oh my God! What?
Right. So yeah, they talk to the people. Jimbo's kind of talking over Janey the whole time. Sure. Sure. But yes, we have our winners, Jimbo and Pangina Heals, in the first ever lip sync for the world. Which I do love. I'm not going to lie.
The world.
I love that.
I mean, I kind of knew where the lip sync was going to go even before I knew what song it was. Because, you know, we know Miss Jimbo is not a good lip syncer at all.
Well, not even, I mean that, but then also like, I mean,
wearing these stripper heels.
Right. We don't know what, you know, Pangina is capable of because she's never had to do this before that we've seen. And then she actually changed, which was super smart.
I love it.
Yeah.
I agree.
It kind of almost made me feel like I almost wonder if Jimbo like threw
Maybe. I will say, so Pangina's look for the lip sync was actually handmade by her. Out of neckties. I believe it was a Versace inspiration. It was like a major designer. She posted about it on Instagram, and I don't remember which designer. I think it was Versace. This whole like necktie situation. But yes, we find out that Jimbo and Pangina are going to be lip syncing to "Say You'll Be There" by the Spice Girls. Oh, I'm so sorry. The Spice Girls.
Oh my god. I was like, why did you do that, Rue? Why?
Because she did it. She's done it every fucking season on Drag Race UK, and for some reason, she finds it entertaining. Oh, we didn't even talk about RuPaul's hideous look.
Do we have to?
Do we have
No. Lip sync. So here's the thing. I kind of had a feeling before the lip sync had even been announced. As soon as the winners were announced, I was like, well, I think I know where this is going.
Same.
And then the song starts, and 5 seconds in, I was like, I know where this is going. When Pangina helped Jimbo, when Jimbo was falling over the first time, it was like fatality. But I loved this lip sync.
Mm-hmm.
It was so fun.
Like one of like those lighthearted lip syncs that we needed.
Yeah, it was so good and so
No. So good and so no.
That part.
yes.
Literally.
Like Jimbo kept falling. I was just like, what is happening? And then
And Jimbo
Sorry,
trips over Pangina.
I
that
feel
part.
in flats, so like I get it.
Right? Yeah, it was. I thought Pangina did a great job, though.
Oh,
yeah.
she was for me the front runner of the entire episode.
This was her episode.
It was
Mhm.
her episode.
But yes, Pangina shockingly wins the lip sync. I'm so shocked. I'm so gagged. I'm so gooped. I truly am just gooped and gagged. And she wins a gold repeater badge.
Da, 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 da.
I hate
Sorry, I
it
had
here.
some noise.
And then we find out that Pangina in her titty has taken the lipstick of lemon. And she has been eliminated. Again.
The way you put eliminated.
Of course I had to. I'm leaving it for the whole season.
I
So
love it.
everyone will be eliminated.
Again, this broke my heart because I love lemon
Yep.
so much, and
Same.
I'm just like,
Same.
but again, that's how they chose. I'm not gonna be mad at that.
Don't send hate to Pangina Heals, please.
Seriously,
no.
like not even the first episode, and she's already getting racist remarks and death
What?
threats. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, that's bullshit.
yeah, it's
She
bullshit.
tweeted about it. Lemon tweeted about it. Lemon's been talking about it in all the interviews. Like, they're good friends now. So like, don't. Just fucking don't.
I have to say, like, I knew exactly. I don't know. Even though I guess now that we know that
Jimbo?
Jimbo, thank you, was I want to say Bosco. Like Jimbo was
Same
I'm
time.
sorry.
They're airing at the same time, so
Right.
I get it.
so, but Jimbo like said that, oh, I wasn't gonna get rid of her. Like I have to say, she would have Lemon. I felt like Lemon was going to be going the first episode, especially after her talent. I mean, it just her face, like it just threw me. And yeah, I don't know. As much as I didn't want to see her go because I love Lemon, and I loved, like, oh my god, that outfit she wore is just amazing.
Yeah.
But like I kind of knew she wasn't gonna make it, which was sad.
I had a feeling and I didn't want it to happen, but it did.
Yeah.
So that's episode 1. We do get a preview. We find out that next week is a design challenge.
I'm so excited for this.
I'm excited, but it's a design challenge where they have to make a gown that for Mama Ru. So everyone's going to have the same silhouette in different colors, is basically what's going to happen.
As long as they make sure, though, that they have different color, like, corsetry underneath or not actual nude illusion. Wrong nude illusion.
Right. Having watched, I mean, Jaye is probably going to have more of an insight than Brandon because Brandon hasn't watched all the seasons. Who do we think is going to struggle in this design challenge?
Jujubee.
Yeah, Juju. I gotta say, I don't know how Janey's gonna do. Jimbo, I don't think it's gonna do great.
And if the episode is correct, Baga could be.
Baga, I don't think Baga's gonna do well.
I also fear for Shez. Because the only reason she did well in her design challenge was because she got to grab the gloves first.
So I think Shez will do well solely because she's got Jimbo, Baga, and Juju.
Yeah. Okay, so let's alter the question. Who do we think is going to do well?
Probably Mo.
Let's hope.
I mean, she's gotten so much better with design, and if it's telling from her first season, like she designed every single of her garments, so that's gonna like benefit her.
I think Blu is actually gonna do pretty good, and I think Pangina is gonna shock us and do really well.
I want to see a Monique Hart versus Pangina Heals lip sync. I'm putting that into the universe
I want that.
Right now.
I want that.
I want to see it.
I think Pangina is. I think she is. I'm hoping that she's going to be that like sleeper queen that just like kills every single challenge, and you're just like, how in the hell is she doing this? Because she just doesn't have like the name of the other girls, you know?
Yeah.
But like, I really feel like she's going to pull something out and just be amazing next week too.
I hope so.
I don't know. I'm just really great.
Sure. Well, we know she designs. I want to say she designs about, I would say, at least 50. I don't know the exact ratio, but
seems like most of the
portion.
stuff that she like wore, it seems like it's hers. So
yeah,
like I'm excited to see what she'll design because like we've never seen what Pangina has designed ever.
Yeah.
Well, even though for what she's wearing, like it's like physically like seeing.
Yes.
So
you know, what'd be great though if Monique does something with like a brown spotted cow pattern for Ru. Bill Logan's over there.
No comment. I'm good.
I'm putting that out in the universe.
I want to see Monique versus Pangina or Monique versus Blu.
I would like that too.
Both are good.
Blu versus Pangina. Honestly, any permutation of those three in a lip sync.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I'm here for it. But yes, that is episode 1 of Rude Paul's. Sorry, I forgot that in the first one. Rude Paul's Best Friends, Make Him Laugh, Southern Hospitality Race, UK versus the World. And that's what we think, but let us know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at @thecup_reality for all of the most up-to-date Cup news. Follow Brandon everywhere because he's doing things. Follow Jaye on Instagram because if you like vintage, you're gonna like Jaye. And follow me because I'm queer. And so is Brandon. But like,
and Jaye's just here.
Yeah, Jaye's just a woman. So if you want to follow a woman, follow Jaye.
She's a woman.
She's a woman.
Occasionally, yeah.
Now I need you to be Ms. Cracker for Halloween.
God, no. I already told you the one time that I went to town to go see Bianca Del Rio and Adore, and one of the local queens came up to me at the bar and was like, honey, you are so passing right now. And I was like, I'm a bio woman. And she's like, sure. Walked away.
No, you've never told me that story.
What?
No.
Yeah.
That's a gag, though.
Yeah. That is a gag.
Okay, so I'll be Miss Cracker. I'll be Miss Cracker and you'll be Caitlin.
I don't want to be Caitlin.
Okay, then you be Miss Cracker and I'll be Caitlin.
Okay.
Caitlin, it's time for dinner. Anyway, let's end this mess. Cheers to you all with my mug that has nothing left. So
Yeah, my coffee's done. So
right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye now.
bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Lemon was robbed. Goodbye. Bye-bye.